Guys, welcome to episode number 17 of the Derby Career Life, and to start off this episode, looking at potentially changing formation. I know it's like 30 games into the season, but we're just, I don't know, we're struggling at times to be able to create the chances that we need to win the game, so potentially going to look to play a 4-4-2. This is what I think would probably fit us best. I may put Lawrence out on the left, but all in all, this is pretty much the best it can get. Maybe Wisdom at centre-back as well. But yeah, the problem is with this, it does kind of exclude a lot of players. For example, Keogh's not in the lineup anymore. Obviously, Thorne's not in there. So there's obviously benefits of playing the 4-4-2 in terms of getting the result. But it does kind of mean missing out certain players. But then again, we will be able to play more strikers. Obviously, we were playing this 5-2-2-1, which seemed to be working. But maybe at times we just conceded a few too many goals. With the fullbacks bombing up so much. As you can see in the last episode, drew against Hull and drew against Preston. Realistically, if we're going to get promoted, we need to be winning against teams like that. Obviously, did really well against Millwall. That's where Mount got his hat-trick. Lost against Chelsea. But all in all, we just need to find that formation where we can just make sure we win the games quite convincingly. Looking at the calendar, then we will be kicking it off with the game against Ipswich, then into the Wigan game, then into the Forest game, which I'll probably finish off the episode, because then the one after that is the Carabao Cup final against Crystal Palace. So depends on what the kind of scorelines. If we get a couple of 0-0s, then we will have the Carabao Cup final in this episode. If not, it will be in the next one, and hopefully it will be our first ever silverware on this series. So if you look at it, then we've got a couple of months after the Carabao Cup final, and then we're done. We're finished with the Championship, hopefully, and into the Premier League, if it goes all well. As you can see, we're not currently in the playoffs, so we do need to kind of pick up some points now, and don't want to fall away from the pack. Like, if we have a bad episode in this one, you could drop down to like mid-table and then just find it really difficult to get back into the running. I don't think we're going to be able to get the top two. It's just making sure we get the playoff spot. Here's the Ipswich team then for today's game. They're actually third in the table at the minute, so they're doing really, really well and a lot better than what they are in real life, of course. Baliowski in goal, obviously one of the best in the league. Chambers and Knudsen in that defence. Tom and Ademi, Cole Skoost, Jordan Graham and Ward out wide. And then that Caballero up front, who I think is actually quite decent. I think he's like 77 rated, and probably the reason they are doing so well. We've gone for the 4-4-2. Going really basic, but it seems to be producing a lot of goals for us when we do switch to it. So thought I'd go for it for this game. It is a rainy day, so it's going to be interesting to see how we do against a very good Ipswich team. Through the middle for Josephson. Has he got the pace to go through on goal? He has. Can he finish it though? Yes, he can. And we have made it 1-0 in the first 10 minutes against a very good Ipswich team. And it seems that this 4-4-2 is working, as we can clearly see. We've got the goal in the first 10 minutes and started very positively. There's a lot of space, to be honest, down that middle, and I was kind of surprised he got it onto his left and managed to slip it past the keeper to make it 1 early on. That's his first goal. Apparently he's not scored so far. Maybe he's scored in the Cup, but hasn't scored in the Championship, and that's the first for him in the league. And there we go, full time against Ipswich. A very narrow victory, but against third in the league, I will take it in a brand new formation. You've got to look at it that way. I must say we did create a few more chances. With a clear cut, maybe not, but I think for the first game with the 4-4-2, I'll be happy. Message here saying that Mitchell is going to Beijing Guan. I'm not that bothered, to be honest. He's about 64 rated, and both of our keepers at the minute are a lot better than him. So if you quickly look at him, he's like, what, 65? I think he'll go up to like a 70, if that. So it's basically what we got at the minute, so it basically makes sense to let him go on a free, and I'm not too fussed. But yeah, I think I'll stick with the 4-4-2. We will be needing to make some changes against Wigan due to fitness, but looking at where they are, they're down in 17th, but in the Championship, like, what, there's like a few points between us. Like, it really, league position isn't that much of a factor, especially these teams at the bottom where they want to not get relegated. They're going to be trying very hard indeed. So next game against Wigan, if we can get a win, and then going into that Forest game, have a little bit of a cushion on them, that'll be nice, just in case if Forest do beat us, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Here we are then back at home against Wigan Athletic, obviously a pretty decent team in the Championship. We've had to make a few changes, bringing in Waghorn up front. Obviously now we're playing a two-striker, maybe Waghorn will be a little bit more effective. Also given a debut to Max Aarons at right back, just similar to Bogle, hopefully can fill in nicely. I was going to put Tamori there. It's kind of a shame because we've gone back to a 4 at the back. it kind of removes the need of an extra defender, but for the time being we're getting the results, so I'll leave it where we are. Bryson coming in as well, and Holmes and Lawrence out wide. Looking at their team, they've gone for a 4-2-3-1. Alex, Bruce and Dunkley in the middle, Robinson and Byrne, and then Power and Connolly, Josh Windass, Naismith and Da Silva Lopez, and Joe Gardner up front. Late, we should be winning, but you never know in football, and it's Wigan. Nice link-up player between Winnell and Lawrence inside to Mason Mount with the shot, and into the back of the net. The youngster makes it 1-0 and gets us into the lead. Just what we needed. Like, you just need to get the first goal when you're playing on ultimate difficulty. In general in football, like, it just helps a ton, and especially in this 4-4-2, he seems to be a lot more involved since he's, like, obviously linked with the two strikers. You can get him in there and get him in those areas to make sure he gets the goals. Headley with the ball here through the middle. Going to find out a wide to Lawrence. Can he get the second goal and kill the game off? Yes, he can. There we go. Making it 2-0. Just getting that little cushion. It's so nice. If you've got it at 1-0 in the last 10 minutes, anything can happen. You can lose the 3 points, but Tom Lawrence there. Just with that bit of space, obviously you've got the two strikers just dragging the defence across, and then obviously the wingers just got a lot of space to cut in and find the back of the net. Chance here for Wigan to get a cross in with the header, and it is in the back of the net. As I said, you need that cushion because anything can happen in the last few minutes, and well, there's still time for Wigan to equalise, as you can see. Just a nice bit of play from the wingers skillfully, and I think maybe Joe Ledley swapping with one of the centre-backs probably cost us the goal there. 10th goal for Josh Windass, clearly being quite effective for them. There we go, full-time against Wigan again. A narrow victory, but I'm going to take them out. I just want the results at the minute. Nice bit of passing play here to set up Mason Mount, obviously, with the first goal. And then the second goal was just to make sure we got the win in the end, obviously, because Wigan did get a goal. But defensively, I'm quite happy with this formation. And overall, I think we're just getting what we need. Scout report here for this winger that was suggested. I'm not even going to try and say his name. He's actually 80 rated, and yeah, a little bit too expensive for what kind of finances we do have at the minute, but maybe when we get promoted, someone we can look at. Obviously not very well known. Risdon here 72 rated, Munayin 80. That's really good to see. Obviously we've got him on a pre-contract, so yeah, just like 83 ball control and 86 dribbling is ridiculous compared to what we currently have. Interested to see if I can actually do pre-contract signings still now, even though we're not in the window. Let me have a quick look on Milner. I'm kind of tempted just to do it because he's 80 rated and he'd be a quality utility player essentially to have next season. If you look at our current money, if we just swing it over to about where his wage will be, like about 80k, still got $1 million, like if we need to do anything, but I don't think we do. I genuinely, we may as well use the money than not use it, and I think Milner would be a nice option just to fill in wherever need be. So let's give it a go, just see what Milner's looking for in terms of a contract for next season. If he only wants 1 year, then I kind of don't want to do it, but if we can get 2, that'd be great. So I want to give him crucial because he probably would, but I'm just going to give him important just to be on the safe side. They're actually looking for crucial, so we're going to have to accept that and probably do whatever he wants. They were looking for a 1 year. We'll try and get a 2. Hopefully we'll accept that. And in terms of wages, it's whether we could afford him or not. I don't know why I've not got any transfer budget left. I should still have about $1 million, so I'm not too sure why I haven't got any of that. So I'm going to literally have to give him what we've got. You see, the thing is, like, he's 80 rated, but he is on Premier League money compared to like Pato and Munayin, who are about the same of this terms of wage and sign-on bonus. Whether he'll accept it, we'll have to wait and see. He's looking for a little bit more. If we can get rid of that bonus, maybe it'll work. Yeah, cool. So let's just add that to there, and hopefully he accepts it. There we go. He's happy to join for £64,307 a week. James Milner is going to be a Derby player next season, so I'm really happy with that. And now we are very, very poor. If you look at how much money we have, still says we technically have the money, which is weird. Not too sure why it says we still have the money, because technically we should have Milner in the club. But yeah, looking at what we've actually accepted. So here's the 3 pre-contracts, all of them 80 rated, and all of them very good indeed. And in terms of actual price, it's not bad at all. Like, Milner, I was kind of expecting to be like 75 grand a week wages, but 60 is pretty decent. 43 for Pato is an absolute bargain. There's players that are like in this current team that are about that wage, and Munayin is just fantastic at 26 years old. These two slightly older. Pato's still got another 2 or 3 years in him, but Milner's going to be probably just for the first season, but maybe he can stretch out more. He is obviously a very good player. Into the next game then against Nottingham Forest, who are just below us, 4 points below us. Obviously if we don't win this game we will still stay in the playoffs, so that's good to know. But if we can win it, we'll go up to 57 points, and then there'll be quite a big gap between us and the following pack, which will be very useful indeed. There's a chance we could catch up Stoke. If we just keep winning games, you never know, they may drop a few points and we may be able to catch them up, but we're going to have to go on one hell of a run. It is at the City Ground, of course, against Forest. Going to be using some more like Derby players, like proper like Brysons and Hendrick and players like that. Looking at the team then for today's game, gone for Keogh and Davis in the middle. Obviously Keogh quite a Derby County legend, so thought I'd give him the game. Hendrick and Bryson in the middle, then Marriott and Solanke up top. Also got Mason Bennett on bench. Hopefully he can come on and make an impact. Looking at their team, they've got Pantamillion and Gold, Daraqua, Robinson, Figueiredo, Dan Fox, I think it is. I think it's Daniel Fox anyway. Jakob and Tashides, and then Diaz, Goncalves and Carvalho and Su Danny. Very difficult team to say all those names, but we managed to do it in the end. It is a very good team. It's probably one of the best Forest teams in the last 10 years, so they're definitely going to be a lot more competitive. They did beat us last time out. Hopefully we can get the positive result this time though at their ground. Chance to get a ball into the box. It's across the face of goal and into Dom Solanke's path to find the back of the net and make it 1-0 in the first 25 minutes. Good start to the game. And that's what you want against Forest. You want to be winning. It's as simple as that. I haven't really used Harry Wilson much because I felt like I didn't want to just use him more than like Lawrence and Joseph and players like that. I kind of want to use the players that I've currently got. And then next season we have the opportunity to actually buy him for a reasonable price and not when we've actually grown him by a ton of rating. Same with Mason Mount, to be fair. Like I didn't want to put him into training. And there, that's Dom Solanke's second goal. I'm kind of a little bit annoyed I signed Solanke because he's a very obvious career mode signing, but I think it's the kind of thing that might happen where Dom Solanke might join a team like us. Wilson into Hendrick, through for Bennett. Can he get the goal? Hits the shot and hits the back of the net. Mason Bennett, the Derby-born lad, makes it 2-0 and making sure we get the 3 points. I doubt Forest are going to be able to score 2 goals now, and I haven't actually played Bennett in a while, and I must say when we do play him he does actually score a goal, so I don't know why he's not in the team more. Wilson just holding it here, then into Hendrick, a lot of space for Bennett, and that's the thing with the 4-4-2 and 4-2-4. You've got those 4 attackers just running at them. 4th goal this season and probably only about 10 games played. There we go, full time against Nottingham Forest. We have beaten them, and potentially the last time we will play them in this save if they don't get promoted and we do. It's been like that in previous years and probably will be the same this year. Harry Wilson was actually really solid in that game, just in terms of chance creation. Obviously set up the first goal and was very important in setting up the second. As you can see, the next game is the Carabao Cup final at Wembley against Crystal Palace. If we could win that, that'd be amazing. At the minute we've got Bayliss, Thomas, Bogle, Tamori and one of our youth players. I'm not too fussed if we don't hit the youth objective, but yeah, I'd like to get at least Thomas and Bayliss up to like towards the 70s anyway, just so they're a bit more usable and we can get them involved in the first team. Training injury here to Jack Marriott is going to miss the cup final, which we will be saving for the next episode. We have got a quick update from our youth squad. Again, I'm not that fussed if we don't hit this. They're just not. I don't feel anything towards these players. They're not real things. They're just computer generated, and I'm not too fussed. But nevertheless, it is a bit of a shame Jack Marriott is going to miss the final. But hopefully, he's not missed too much, and hopefully we can win it in the next episode to kick it off. We'll probably get all the way up to the Stoke game against obviously Gary Rowett. But there's some really tough games like Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke, and Swansea, Villa, and even Rotherham towards the bottom of the table would be quite a grind, but it's really close now to the end of the season, and it's good to see we've got a bit of a form going. We'll quickly have a look where we are in the table. So yeah, with that win against Forest, we do have a game in hand on Swansea, who are just below us, and Forest are now 7 points off the playoffs, so we pretty much ended their playoff hopes in my opinion. Obviously we're 6 points clear of Hull, and if we win our game in hand and they don't, we can make that 9 points, so I'm pretty happy with where we are. I don't think we will be able to catch up Stoke, but as long as we can get in the playoffs and hopefully win it that way, it does make it a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more stressful for me, so that's always good. I'd say out of the teams, I'd probably, I don't know, all three of those at the minute in the playoffs, very difficult, but Leeds were probably the easiest to beat out of the bunch. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Can't wait to record the next episode against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup final. Going to have to keep a lid on Zaha. So yeah, make sure you do leave a like, rate it if you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Bye!